I'd like to welcome Minister Lynch to the House. Very welcome. Senator Whelan.
Thanks very much, Cathaoirleach. And I too would like to join with you in welcoming Minister Lynch back to the House. And I'm grateful that she is taking this question this evening on behalf of the Department of Health, because there's no one around the country doubts for a second the commitment and the care and compassion that Minister Kathleen Lynch brings to her role and in the area of elderly care. And indeed, it's particularly topical, Cathaoirleach, and interesting today, because only today Minister Lynch herself launched the government's own national positive ageing strategy. And it underlines and underscores exactly my concerns, indeed, that Ireland should have embedded as part of all government policy an age-friendly society and services for our senior citizens, so as they can be cared for with dignity and in confidence and in comfort in the autumn of their years. And indeed, it's an urgent matter, as the Minister herself pointed out today, that by 2041, more than 1/4 of the population, 1.4 million people, will be over the age of 65. So it's going to put a great demands and responsibility on the state and on the government, because we have a duty of care to our senior citizens. In County Laois, this falls, in my opinion, to our 3 very important community nursing homes in Abbeyleix, in Shane, in Portlaoise and Mountmellick. But they are all operating under capacity, and none of them are operating, in my opinion, to the full extent, to the range of services that they could deliver if they were given the resources and the support and commitment from the HSE and from the Minister for Health, which I believe they deserve. I'd like to put on the record here that I'd like to publicly thank Minister Lynch for taking the time herself to visit both Shane Hospital and Abbeyleix Hospital, where I know that she was moved and impressed by the quality and level of care that was provided for the patients and the senior citizens in both hospitals. However, Cathaoirleach, in October 2011, as far back as that, the HSE dropped a bombshell really on the people of Laois, when, without any consultation, they unilaterally announced a decision to close both Abbeyleix and Shane hospitals. This was a mind-boggling decision, in my opinion, and it was really only halted, to be fair, by people power, when the people of Abbeyleix came out and the people of Laois came out in their thousands to protest and to prevent it. And it took 3 brave senior citizens, elderly ladies in their 90s, to go to the High Court to stop the HSE from proceeding with that decision. And thanks to the judgment of the High Court, the HSE were instructed that far back, Cathaoirleach, to embark on a genuine public consultation process, which was conducted. And to be fair to the people of Abbeyleix and Shane and the families and the community at large, they engaged in that process in good faith and in an honest way. But that consultation process, Cathaoirleach, concluded almost a year ago, last May. And the report from that review, it's my understanding, was forwarded to the Minister James Riley's desk sometime in the autumn of that year. So now the Minister has the report and the recommendations from the HSE for over 6 months. So I don't think it's unfair or needlessly undue to expect that the Minister would take away the doubts, the concern and the anxiety that is being experienced by senior citizens of Laois, and confirm to them the commitment that the HSE should have and that the Department of Health and that he himself should have to the community nursing homes in Shane and in Abbeyleix, because the people of Laois deserve that, and the elderly citizens of Laois and the patients who are in both hospitals receiving great care deserve to know, and their families deserve to know, where they stand. Because now, to be fair, it has dragged on too long. Thanks very much, Cathaoirleach.
Thank you, Tara.
Cathaoirleach, I'd first like to thank Senator Whelan for raising this issue, as it gives us an opportunity to outline the current position, and I think he's outlined the history in relation to events fairly well, but nevertheless. Abbeyleix Community Nursing Unit is a 2-storey building registered with HICWA for a period of 3 years with effect from the 16th of May 2012. The maximum number of people that can be accommodated at the CNU is 33. There is also a daycare centre attached to the building. St Bridget's Hospital, Shane, is located in a rural setting, approximately 7 kilometres from Portlaoise. The hospital is also set out over 2 stories and was registered with HICWA on the 16th of January 2012 for 3 years to provide accommodation for up to 32 people. In October and November 2011, the HSE announced the closure of St Bridget's Hospital Shane and Abbeyleix Community Nursing Unit. However, in recognition of strong views held by residents and others, the HSE agreed to review the position for both facilities and to embark on an entirely new consideration of the issues that were relevant. And at this point, I met the 3 ladies involved, and not just were they brave, but I thought incredibly articulate and sprightly. This new process began with a very comprehensive consultation exercise. Central HSE protocol sets out how consultations and subsequent decision-making should operate in this context. This protocol sets out the following: who should be consulted. This includes residents, next of kin, interested parties, action groups, public representatives, union staff representation. That is a named HSE official known as the designated officer should be given responsibility for considering all of the available views, information and evidence, and for proposing a course of action based on these considerations. The factors that should be considered by the designated officer are also specified in the protocol. These include issues arising from a range of views expressed through the consultation process, the context and validity of the submissions received, and an assessment by the relevant manager of the position, a medical review of the residents and any additional information. In May 2012, this protocol was applied in this context with the launch of a public consultation process regarding the potential closure of Abbeyleix Community Nursing Unit and St Bridget's Hospital Shane. All relevant information and submissions were submitted to the designated officer on the 16th of August 2012. The Senator will be aware that there were almost 100 submissions received and over 60 meetings took place with interested parties, 55 of which were with residents and next of kin. In line with the HSE protocol, the designated officer confirmed that the relevant procedures and processes had been fully adhered to in consideration of these cases. He also confirmed that he reviewed all submissions received along with the other relevant documentation described above. Having considered all of the information available, he formulated his recommendations and submitted them to the Department. These recommendations have been considered by the Minister, and it is anticipated that an announcement will be made shortly in respect of both facilities. So I hope that, Senator, I suppose apart from the process, there's nothing new in what I'm saying to you, other than the fact that I do know, because I did check recently, that the Minister will be making a decision on both facilities very shortly. And as you say yourself, it will probably bring a great deal of relief to the people involved.
A brief question.
Thanks very much, Carla. A brief question. Indeed, I'd like to thank the Minister for a comprehensive reply, and it is good news to hear at least that a decision from the Minister for Health, James Riley, is imminent. I suppose when we say shortly, I've heard shortly over the last number of months.
Shortly.
He has the report on his desk now since before last Christmas. I would say 6 months is a long time enough to be considering this. Both hospitals, you know, to be fair, they're not even running at the level that they're cleared for by HICWA. I mean, Abbeyleix, for instance, currently only has 22 patients. And there is a fear and anxiety in the community that there's a move there maybe to close it down by stealth and to wear people down and to wear people out and to procrastinate. So I would urge Minister Lynch, I thank her for her comprehensive reply, but I would urge her to take the message back to the Minister for Health that the people of Laois and Abbeyleix and Shane are waiting anxiously for a decision, and we hope that shortly is soon. Thanks very much, Minister.
Thank you, Senator.